How's it going, guys? What you're going to see today is a support class kit breakdown in Battlefield 4. If you're familiar with my other three videos, you've seen where I've broken down the weapons, the attachments with them, the equipment, the loadout, and basically everything I use on average that of course changes per map and per map situation. It's not like a foolproof situation. If you've seen my other three videos, you know the protocol and how it works. If not, have a look at them and you'll basically get an idea from this video of what they'll look like. This one will be for support, like I said. So let's get started. First things first, when I use an LMG, which I tend to for the most part when I'm using support, I either use the U-100 MK5, which is like the M27 IAR of Battlefield 3. So it's actually a nice almost combination between LMG and carbine. Very accurate, but you sacrifice a bit of suppression and you sacrifice a bit more magazine size. Pretty good starting weapon though. I'd highly recommend it if you're new to support. I used the LSAT or the LSAT here for a long time and it was pretty good, no problems, but it's been since outclassed by these two. I've already done a review for the M249. I probably will do one shortly for the MG4, but those are the two I use the most, maybe until I try out the rest or Second Assault comes out. The reason being because these two have a high rate of fire mixed with a great magazine size and little to no horizontal deviation, or it's very easy to account for, which makes them a great option for just about anyone. And those are the two I use for it. The carbines, I'd use the AK-5C if I really chose to, and shotgun-wise, I'd use the 870 MCS, and I usually run support or assault when I'm using a shotgun. The attachments overall for the LMGs, and this is the same for all of them, the reflex sight's the one I always use, most comfortable, or the coyote sight. Actually, I'll throw the coyote on as we're here. The other thing I'd like to mention though is make sure, and this goes for all kits too, if you have an infrared sight in situations where you can't really see all that well through, say, foliage, or you're going from a light area to a dark area and you're trying to look in and can't see anyone, use an infrared sight. You might take heat from someone who doesn't enjoy being killed by it, but who the hell cares? Light them up. Use that infrared sight for you for best success. The next thing, I always use the laser sight. Because it just takes that 25% reduction off the hip fire penalty. So when you're in close quarters engagements or surprise situations, every bit of an advantage helps. The laser sight will help you immensely here, especially if you're flanking. But you can choose the green laser sight or even a flashlight if you want to blind people. The barrel, I tend to use the standard barrel. The reason why I don't use the muzzle brake or the compensator is because of the 30% penalty to automatic fire. So if like you're in those hip fire situations like I described earlier, it won't help you at all. And even if you're just laying down suppression over large areas, more deviation in the bullets isn't going to help you with the muzzle brake. If you plan on staying in medium range encounters and just burst or tap firing, this will probably help you out a lot. But I move around a lot, so that doesn't help me an awful lot. The flash hider doesn't keep you off the map, but it does reduce your signature, the flash signature, which helps a lot. I'd probably equip that if I had it. And the suppressor helps an awful lot too, because that does keep you off the mini-map, and it also reduces your flash and sound signature, so it's great for flanking. In terms of the grip, the ergonomic grip helps because it reduces that 50% penalty for firing on the run, which I do an awful lot. Again, great flanking tool here. But if you're going to be more stationary, providing cover or shooting targets at medium to longer ranges, go with the angled grip because of the reducing first shot recoil by 33. It helps you an awful lot. Paint, purely cosmetic, up to you. Next thing is always the sidearm, and like I've said in all my other reviews, choose one that's most comfortable for you. Make it your best friend, make it work. Don't choose one because your favorite YouTuber happens to use it but you can't find success with it. If you're happy with, say, the G18, use the G18 regardless of whether or not someone's using the 44 Magnum. That's up to you. Now the gadgets, one of them's always an ammo box for me. It supplies myself with own ammo, and I supply my teammates with ammo, which helps. But even if you're a selfish player who doesn't like giving out ammo to anyone for whatever reason, or you're ignorant, whatever, having it just to give yourself XP, that's another bonus out of it. So I choose that. But again, it changes for Gadget 1. Gadget 2 is always the ammo box. Gadget 1 is C4 as my standard. I'm able to blow up armor, walls, people hiding behind walls. It's a nice, versatile weapon to have here. The MP-APS is great for mortar spam, or rocket spam in Operation Locker, so dealing with them. Mortars are great to if your teammates have already, set off or charged an MCOM, it's nice to actually keep enemies off it. So mortaring strategic snipers, it's great to have. The Claymore is nice to have if you're trying to hold down a choke point and you're covering your ass. That's nice to have. And the Airburst's good, of course, to take out targets that are behind cover. But it's situation dependent. The V40 minis after the nerf are the grenades I always use. They're still the best, at least in my opinion they are. Knife's cosmetic. The field upgrade's the one that changes the most for me, I find. I usually on average run with the defense one for the incoming damage reduction. Reduces the amount of incoming suppression, which is nice. The offensive I don't choose much. I don't really see a lot of benefit for it. The shadow is nice for flanking. It keeps you off the minimap, increases your chance to flank. Motion sensors, except when sprinting, don't detect you. Incoming fire I don't use as much either. And perimeter defense I use quite a bit if I'm not using defense or shadow, and that's because as much as maximum inventory of bullet increase won't really help you all that much considering you're a support player with a large magazine and an endless supply of bullets, outgoing suppression increase of 50 is beautiful, and the APS upgrade's really nice to have as well, and camouflage is up to you. But that's basically it for me. Of course, just bear in mind, take those tips with a grain of salt, because each map situation and the ebb and flow of a particular map will change what my loadout is, and it probably should if you're going to be a good player. Hope you enjoyed. See you later.